You know, for the longest time, when you thought about creating value in crypto, it was all about one thing: powerful, expensive hardware. Just pure brute force. But today, we're going to explore a really fundamental shift, a new era where intelligent, autonomous agents are stepping in to completely rewrite the rulebook.
So let me just throw a question out there. What if getting involved in a crypto economy didn't mean you needed a garage full of servers or a degree in computer science? Seriously, what if all you had to do was activate an agent and just let it work for you? It's a pretty wild idea, and it's right at the heart of the model we're digging into.
Okay, so before we can really appreciate where we're going, we've got to be crystal clear about where we've been. Let's take a look at the old methods for generating value in crypto, and more importantly, why they're starting to hit some serious roadblocks.
This table right here, it just frames the whole evolution of crypto perfectly. We kick things off in the mining era with proof of work. I mean, think pure, raw computational power. It worked, but man, was it expensive and energy hungry. That pushed us into the staking era with proof of stake, which basically swapped out hardware for cold, hard capital. Yeah, it lowered the barrier to entry, but it often just ended up rewarding the people with the most money to lock up, which led to centralization. And now we're seeing this third path emerge, the intelligent agent era. It's moving beyond brute force, beyond just passive capital, and into active, adaptive participation.
And here's the thing, right? Both of those old models have some major drawbacks. The whole arms race in mining for better and better hardware, it priced most people out of the game completely. And staking, while it felt a little more open, often just turned into a rich-get-richer situation with these really static, predictable yields. The so-called automation in staking was really just simple repetition, not actual intelligence that could adapt to the network.
And that gap, that's what brings us to the next frontier: AI agents. Now, this isn't just some small upgrade we're talking about. This is a totally new model for how you can participate, and it feels like it was designed specifically for a new decade of digital economies.
So what in the world are we actually talking about here? Well, think of an AI-assisted on-chain agent as your own personal digital worker. It's basically an autonomous piece of code that lives right there on the blockchain. Its job? To interact with smart contracts and perform these complex, value-generating tasks on your behalf. And it does it continuously, adaptively, with absolutely no micromanagement needed from you.
This quote from the source material really just hits the nail on the head. What if on-chain value could be generated by agents that do not require hardware because they are enhanced by artificial intelligence? I mean, that question completely reframes the whole concept of work for this new post-hardware world we're entering.
And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi idea. It is happening right now, and that's because we're in the middle of a perfect storm of technologies all coming together. We've got mature smart contract platforms like the EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine, the playground where all these smart contracts live and do their thing. You combine that with new, lightweight AI models, super fast and cheap blockchains like Avalanche, and, well, a whole generation of users who are already totally comfortable with automation. The timing for this is frankly perfect.
Okay, so enough with the abstract theory, right? Let's get practical. Let's look at a concrete, real-world example. We're going to dive into a platform called Node Booster and its engines, because they're taking this whole concept of AI agents and turning it into something you can actually use.
So, Node Booster, it's an ecosystem built on the Avalanche network that lets pretty much anyone activate these AI-assisted agents, which they call engines. The moment you switch one on, it just gets to work, automatically participating in the platform's reward cycles for you. Simple as that.
And the process itself just screams accessibility. It is incredibly straightforward. First, you get some AVAX, which is the native token for the Avalanche network. Second, you use that AVAX to activate an engine, and, well, that's it. Your job is done. The engine just starts doing its thing, operating autonomously, and you start getting rewards in a new token, AVAX 0, sent right to your wallet.
Now let's peek under the hood at how these engines are actually designed. A few key principles really stand out. First, they're non-custodial. This is huge. It means you always have full control over your funds. Their behavior is deterministic, meaning it's all governed by transparent, unchangeable smart contracts. No surprises. And each engine has this predictable life cycle with a capped reward limit, which creates a stable and really easy-to-understand system right from the get-go.
All right, so that brings us to the token that makes this whole system go round. Let's unpack how AVAX 0 works and why its role is so critical for the Node Booster ecosystem.
The most important thing to get here is that AVAX 0 is designed from the ground up to be a utility token. Its main purpose isn't speculation. It's to have a job to do inside the platform. It's the reward that your engine generates, yes, but it's also the tool you're going to use to boost your participation in the ecosystem down the line.
So this economic cycle is actually really simple but also pretty powerful. It all kicks off when a user, like you, spends some AVAX to activate an engine.
That single action then triggers the system's autonomous reward cycle, basically putting your intelligent agent to work inside the protocol's smart contracts. And as your engine operates, it generates rewards in the form of these AVAX tokens, which then get distributed directly back to your wallet. And that's it. The value loop is complete.
And if you look at how the token is designed, you can see it wears a lot of different hats. While its main job is to be the reward you get, a huge chunk of it is dedicated to pure utility. We're talking things like enhancing your engines, progressing through the ecosystem, and getting access to new features. This kind of multi-purpose design really encourages you to use the token, not just hold on to it, which helps create a much more dynamic internal economy.
So, let's zoom out for a second. Why does any of this actually matter? Well, because models like this could represent a major shift in how we think about digital economics as a whole, moving us way beyond simple transactions and into these complex, autonomous systems.
The potential for sustainability here seems to be built on three core pillars. First off, new tokens are only created based on active participation. There's no arbitrary inflation. Second, every single engine has a capped reward limit, which puts a hard brake on any kind of runaway supply. And third, all those built-in utility features create a natural, ongoing demand for the token, which reinforces its value inside the ecosystem.
Ultimately, when you boil it all down, what we're really witnessing is a change in our role as users. We're moving away from a world where we have to constantly manually interact with protocols, all the clicking, signing, and confirming, and we're moving toward a future of autonomous participation. A future where our main job is to just deploy intelligent agents, tell them what to do, and then let them get to work for us.
And that leaves us with one final really big question to chew on. We've seen how this concept is being put to work in one specific ecosystem, but could this be a glimpse of a much, much bigger trend? Are these self-operating intelligent agents the actual future of how we all create, manage, and distribute value across the entire digital landscape? This new frontier is really